Hello and welcome to Hot Topics Wednesdays. Today we're going to talk about how to make your webinars engaging. Many people think that, I'm going to create a webinar and it's automatically going to build this personal connection with my audience. This is not true. I've conducted many webinars and I started with lots of not so positive experiences. So there are several strategies that you can utilize to make your webinars more fun and more interesting for your audience. And today I'm going to cover just 5, but I think those are the main strategies. So, strategy number 1, first things first. Well, because online, as I keep repeating, we only have 8 seconds to capture audience's attention. If we don't capture it in 8 seconds, forget about it. The audience is checking their emails, talking on the phone, watching a movie, doing something other than listening to you. So it's a good idea to first of all start with a great hook, like a cool image maybe that provokes curiosity. And second, put all of the main information before, in the beginning. Strategy number 2, think of your webinar as a part of the experience that you're trying to build for your audience. The webinar itself is not just standalone event. What are you going to do before the webinar? How are you going to connect with your audience before? Maybe you want to send them some handouts to look over. How are you going to create the engagement in the waiting room? What are you going to do after the webinar? It's always a nice touch to send something after your webinar is over, maybe a summary of main points, maybe the follow-up, maybe a survey, but you want to make sure that you engage your audience before, during, and after this webinar. Strategy number 3, show your face. Very often we have webinars where we just see the PowerPoint presentation and we never even know how the presenter looks. It is my personal opinion and my personal preference. You decide for yourself, but I like to show my face in the beginning of the webinar to welcome my audience, and then I kind of like to turn it off and not have the simultaneous, my face and the presentation going. Well, I do this because of several reasons. First of all, as you see, I'm very animated. And I really don't want to think about what kind of faces I'm projecting when I am talking about the subject matter. And also sometimes we get those frozen screens where we don't look that good. So that's my personal preference. It makes me more at ease when I turn off the camera. But then I turn it on again at the end to say goodbye to my audience and to connect once more and maybe have a Q&A session when I actually have my webcam on. Strategy number 4, spice it up. It can be very monotonous and boring to listen to your webinar. I think that there are a couple of things you can do. First of all, the voice that you project is very, very important. Do not read prepared text. Please don't do that. If you think that you can hide behind the screen and nobody can see that you're reading it, you are wrong. When we read, our intonations are different, our pauses are different, and we're just less fun. It becomes more monotonous and more boring. So don't read it. And make sure that you utilize those pauses and those intonations, and you can laugh and, just make sure that you talk like as if you're having a conversation, even if it's a professional webinar. Don't kill with bullet points.
Avoid excessive bullet pointing, only key points. Too many bullet points, and your key messages will not stand out. In fact, the term bullet point comes from people firing guns at annoying presenters.
Strategy number 5, make your audience active participants of your webinar. I actually suggest having several people that participate in a webinar. You might have a host who introduces you and closes the webinar, or you might select somebody from the audience to participate, and you can assign the presenter rights to them and they can talk too. So that's kind of something different. Also, make sure that your audience touches the keyboard every 10 minutes, no more. Because after 10 minutes, they're gonna keep doing something else, okay? They're gonna go somewhere else. So how can you engage your audience and make them actually participate in your webinar? Well, there are tons of things you can do. You can create yes or no questions. You can ask questions that require people to type in the answer, and then you can select certain responses or read them all. It depends on how many participants you have. You can also have a rating poll, and a rating poll is when you ask your audience to rate something in relation to other items. You can also develop a multiple choice item, very easy one, just A, B, C, D, and make people choose that. You can ask your audience to raise their hand. Most of the webinar software have that, or put a smiley face or show their emotions. Or you can ask them to participate in the opinion poll, where you tap into their feelings and emotions and ask them to express them. What I would like for you to do now is, in the comments below, please share your strategy or strategies that you found very helpful in engaging your audience. If you like this post, please click like and share it with the rest of your network. And also, let's get more engagement going. Let's connect. I have a Facebook page and I also have a Twitter account, so we can connect in all different ways here. And if you're not on my list yet, come on over and subscribe to my blog at www.effectiveonlineteaching.com. You will also get a free gift, which is always good. And I will see you next Wednesday. Conquer that distance.